string review in the middle of the tournament of rackets. I'm gonna review the string in one of the favorites in the tournament, seated as number 1, Tfight 305, 18-19 string pattern. Probably is gonna be one of the hottest string pattern in upcoming year. Let's go to the review. Toroline Toro Toro 123 gauge, 6-sided, middle stiffness, maybe towards those softer strings, but still I think the main asset is control, especially of the launch angle. The response is very predictable and very linear. It complemented the Tfight 305 very well. Kind of reminds me of Solinco Confidential, but much softer. If we mention Confidential, then of course Lynx Tour, but Lynx Tour is definitely stiffer and kinda grabs the ball in a different way than both Confidential and Toro Toro. Toro Toro is maybe a bit more sleek, definitely more responsive. You feel the jump of the ball, but the jump is very straightforward, not up and down, compared to some round strings like Razor Coat or Razor Soft. I would say, yeah, in some ways it is maybe even closer to those round strings than shaped strings, which to me is actually a good thing. I usually enjoy hitting with the shaped strings that kinda pretend to be round. Toro Toro is one of them. It just gives a very predictable response. The feel and touch is still great, but you still get a bit of the spin potential from this shape. 6-sided. I really like 6-sided strings in general. Of course, when you compare it to the square shaped strings like K-pop or Solinco, Turbite, those give much better spin potential, but they start to implement some of the inconsistencies in the launch and maybe how they grab the ball. So with those, let's say, aggressively shaped strings, you must have some kind of a fixed strokes, so the predictability is from your strokes. And with Toro Toro, 6-sided strings with much better launch control, it's kinda more forgiving when you don't really time the stroke perfect, and maybe it's a bit easier to predict where you're aiming with your strokes. The path is less up and down and it's more point and shoot type of response. The gauge 123, I think it suits the Tfight really well. Lower the swing wave slightly, opens up the string bed slightly compared to 125 and 130 gauges. And it's still, let's say, control oriented enough compared to those thinner gauges like 120, so it kinda fills the gaps between 120 and 125, which is also a positive in the Tfight 305. When it comes to the stiffness, I would say it sits somewhere between Razor Coat and Razor Soft from Tecnifibre. Maybe I would put Confidential somewhere. However, the response and how the ball sits on the string bed is kind of different. Different pocketing sensation and different dwell time. With the Toro Toro, you kind of feel the pocketing but the dwell time maybe is short. I mean, you kind of feel the catapult going on, but on the positive side, again, the catapult is very linear and very predictable, which is actually maybe beneficial in counter-oriented dead, let's call it dead rackets. And yeah, I really enjoyed this string. I'm not sure I'm going to switch over to it. I think the catapult effect was a bit too strong. It could hurt my confidence playing under pressure. Playing under this safe bubble is a totally different type of game. So yeah, if you guys wanna compete, make sure to practice competing, not just preparing yourself to compete and then expect to compete at the same level. It's never gonna happen. So yeah, I will also review the K-pop very soon. So make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and see you soon. Bye bye.